Hey guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. Well, what we got here is a good closet find. What I mean by that is this lived in somebody's closet. A very good friend of mine purchased this with the sole intention of sending it here for me to go through it and for me to make it available to the public. All I have seen is some pictures of this thing. So we're going to go inside, we're going to take a good look at this. We're going to go over it top to bottom, and then we're going to come back to you on this. So we're going to cover this thing, we're going to take it all the way apart. We pull out the screws for the feet. Now, it is short a foot on the front. It's okay. I know a guy that knows a guy that got some shit one time from a dude. Now, as always, we slide forward. Just like that. Now, I am going to warn you guys that this is a closet store. So it was stored in a closet. That means it's going to be very dusty. Like, dusty. It's okay. It's still stock. This is all still stock. This looks really good. It's currently wired 220. This looks great in here. For a closet find, you can't ask for anything better than this. It's almost virginal. Virginal. Let's have fun. Let's pop the top, baby. It's missing a screw here, which I'll replace. There is a little bit of a stain here. It's okay, I can fix that. Look at the inside of the armor real quick. Sometimes I get a little stain like that from somebody spilling something from the outside. We don't see that. It's not on the inside of the armor. Kind of interested to see what we find here. That's no good. That's stripped. That one's stripped too. It's okay. I got crush nut technology. We'll fix that. Have faith. I see 632s in its future. Man, shit is getting weird with this coronavirus, man. I went to the gun store today just to go buy ammo. You think toilet paper's had a run on it. Holy smokes. The gun store was like, oh, we got a 22. And then we've got like this 6.5 Creedmoor, and that's all they got. I mean, it was rough, thin. Like, holy cow. I considered myself lucky to be able to come out of there with any 308 ammo. Everybody's like, oh, everybody's way overreacting to the cold. This is just a cold. Look, you can go that route and you can say those kind of things if you want, but if you end up losing a family member because of this, you're not going to be saying things like that anymore. Whew. Dusty. Oh, she's a dusty old girl. Dusty old girl. our glitch resistor here. Gonna have to replace that. But the $64 million question is, what's it got in it for tubes? These look like old iMacs. Sockets are tight. All pristine iMacs. You gotta be careful how you go about cleaning the filth off of these, the dust. Because if you use the wrong kind of window cleaner, it'll take the labeling right off the tubes. Oh, we'll clean you up, old girl. We're gonna make it so somebody still wants to take you to the ball. It's okay. Have faith. It's just dust. This will clean right up. This will all clean right up. Fan's still nice and smooth. Oh, the band selector's like silk. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. All right, let's bend this tab down out of the way. And because it is wired 110, it's going to allow us to run this thing up with a Variac. So it saves me from having to convert it over. Power is on. We're going to put it in the sideband position. So high power. We should see our plate voltage start to rise, and it is not. That is a bad sign. So let's figure out if the meter itself has got an issue. With that choke being burnt up, I have a feeling it's the board. I bet you they popped the lid off, or the lid screws weren't held down tight and it popped that glitch. And they bypassed the glitch and it didn't come right back to life, and they just shut it off. Bet you anything. So, not like we haven't seen this before. Faceplate's in beautiful condition, by the way. Well, there's 3,000 volts there. So it's something wrong with the metering circuit. Oh yeah, now I'm starting to smell it. The bleeder resistors are heating up, and the dust is disappearing off of them. Okay, so we've got 2,500 volts worth of love there. 3,100 resting over here. So that's good. It tells us that the high voltage capacitors are also good. So don't need to worry about them for right now. Okay, this is pretty simple. Pretty simple. Turn our Variac down, turn this off, unplug this, and we'll give it a few minutes for the bleeders to do their job. Pretty bad.
Okay. Layer number 1 of filth removed. At least the blocker's in good shape. It's nice and solid. All right. So now, starting to look like an Sb220 in here again. I have determined that this meter movement is bad, so we're going to need to replace it. Let's flip it around and do the other side. Okay, we got all the massive dirt out over here and underneath. So we know our high voltage board's working, but we need to replace this glitch resistor, which is just a piece of wire. So we're going to take the faceplate off and we're going to address our meter. And this has got some aftermarket switch in it. I mean, it's correct. The switch here is correct, but it is aftermarket. I just got to make a note of that. So let's see if we can figure out why this sucker doesn't want to work. So here we are again, pulling a miracle out of our butthole. This is my last good functional meter movement. Got lots of meter bodies, lots of meter enclosures, lenses, lots of meter faces, but a bunch of dead meter movements. So this is the one that come out of the unit. It's garbage. We'll still hold on to it for most of its parts. This little guy, on the other hand, he's golden. Golden. So let's see if we can get this to go back together. I still need to tweak that. So I'm having to make out of 3 other meters a decent body for this to all go back in too. Okay. I asked for band switches and a universe provided. So now I'm asking for good meter movements that work. Bingo. Built from garbage. Looks as good as new. Okay. So I'm asking the universe to provide me with decent meter movements. I had guys send me some, but they were all, well, like this one, they were shorted out. So the plastic is the same clarity, that means they'll be the same color. Okay. It's as close as we're gonna get this. So I guess the only thing I got left to do is replace this glitch. This choke up here, or not this choke, but this resistor, which I happen to have buckets of. Yay me. Okay, let's get this put back together. Well, I figured while I was down here, because I flipped it over to put the faceplate on, I might as well just go ahead and ground the grids while I was here. So grids are grounded. That little modification is complete. And I really don't see anything else in here that I need to futz with. Unless there's some reason I need to come back and check it out. So let's go ahead, let's flip it over. Oh, sucker did not want to get fixed. Okay, so also these 2 resistors, 4.7 meg resistors, that take and knock down the high voltage here, wide open. We're not doing shit for Shinola. Then the other thing we figured out is the grid, relative power, and the high voltage knobs, it was wired backwards. So grid, I'd show high voltage, and then on the high voltage side, it would show my grid current. So 35, a little generous, but it's reading. Enough that I'm willing to let it go. I feel comfortable with this. So our next step, the bleeders look good. Look at this. Watch the bleeders work here. Pulls it down to 0 fast. Okay, so our next step is we're going to put the tubes in it and do an air bottle test. As soon as this gets down to 0, and we can stick our meat beaters in this thing. We'll get her, do an air bottle test, and then I'm going to build new parasitic horseshoes for it. We'll get that changed out, and then I think we're ready to run it. For you guys that are wondering what I clean the tubes with, it's this mystery solvent. It's the most active solvent on the face of the earth. It's called water in a clean cloth. Very lightly damp towel, and I just wipe the tubes down. I found that if you use like window cleaner or anything basically, you run a chance of wiping that lettering off the tube. Once that happens, the value of the tube drops to zero almost, it seems like. So these are printed and in really good shape IMAX. Hopefully they don't start smoking. Looks good. Looks real good. So let our high voltage bleed down. Let's build some parasitics. This is looking really good. So the peak beaner is a 1,000-watt slug. That's this one here. Our average, or RMS, root mean squared, is 1,000. Our reflect is a 5. Okay. So first, what we're going to do, so I'm going to show you drive power. We're on the ICOM 7300. Hello, audio. About 80 watts going in. Now we are on low. Hello. Tweak it to about 1,000. Okay? That's on low. Hello. Plate amp meter is working fine. So now watch what happens when we flip this thing over to high. Goodbye. These tubes are good. I mean, the box might be a little stingy, a little stingy gingy, but the tubes are great. So now we're on 2X. As I've explained in many YouTube videos, this hash mark right here is 1,000 watts. So it's 12, 14, 16, 18, 2000. So let's see what we get here. Hello. Well, 13 and some change. Let's see if we can tweak it a little bit more. Hello. 1,400 watts with 80 watts of drive on 80 meters. I call that a good day. I really do. This is pointed directly at 80 and 5.5. That's a good day on 80 meters out of this little box. With about 80 watts of drive, so you put a little bit more into it, you're going to get a whole lot more out of it. Let's go play with 40 meters and let's see what it shows us. Almost committed the ultimate sin. Here's our pass-through tune on 80 at 0121212. We're looking at this meter right here. Here's our input at 012121212. Flip the band switch back to 80. Hello, audio 1212121212. Beautiful. It's a beautiful input match and it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Okay. Now on to 40 meters. So here we are on 40 meters. 1 2 1 2, pass through is good. And 1 2 1 2 1 2. Input tune is good. So now, this camera is too heavy for this tripod. I've come to the conclusion. Okay, so we're on the 1x scale. Hello. Hello. Right at about 1,000 is what we're getting on low. Just flip that SSB switch. Hello, goodbye. Which I have a feeling it's going to be a repeat of what we seen last time. So now we're up on 2X. Hello. 13. 12, 13. Let's change our angle here. So we're looking straight at the meter now. Hello. 1, 2. Hello. Audio. Hello. 1200 and some change. It's working just as it should. Let's go look at 20. Well, here we are down on low again. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. 950, 980 and some change. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom on up here to the icon. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. Shit. I hit the stop record button when I was meaning to lock down the tripod so the camera won't wander away on us. Let's go ahead and hit high. Hello, goodbye. So let's go see if we can tweak it up to about 1200 or so on high. Hello. Hello. Just crawling over the 30 there at the 1200 watt mark. Makes me happy. Well, let's go play with 15. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. It's a tight little window, man, where this thing just wants to be tuned. Let's go to high. Hello. Off the scale. I'm at 1200 again. Jump that up to 2x. Hello. 1200 again. Now, we should have done this one had to face off earlier, and I got all the knobs re-indexed and everything. Oh, son of a gun. Oh well. Let's see what it gives us on the stock tune for 10 meters. Which probably won't be that much. It's horrible. I gotta go work on it. I'll be back. Okay. So I got the face back on, and the input tune's all set. Now I had to face off. I went back and revisited 15 meters because I wasn't happy about that. And I revisited 20 and they're flatter than pancakes. So now we're going to show you the viability of the tubes. Please keep in mind that this thing is currently on 110 volts. Okay. So we've got our 1000 watt slug in it. $1,000 slug, 1000 in average, and 5 watt slug in reverse. Back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. I'm currently hooked up to the bench 2-pill. Hello. So we're jumping up around 200, 210 watts drive. Goodbye. Hello. This disappearing off the scale. And we're on 110 volts. Now, our only saving grace is I'm on a committed 15 amp service. So what I'm hooked up to goes directly over to the fuse panel, and it's on its own 15 amp hookup. It's got one plug on it. It's not powering a light, it's not powering a computer, it's not powering all the other shit that's in here. It's just powering this box. It's the only way we're getting away with this. So now we're in the 2x position. So full deflection is 2,000 watts. Goodbye. Hello. Audio. Hello. Audio. In the corner. Okay. 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. We're reading that middle scale, adding a couple zeros. Okay. One, hello, 1, 2. Hello. 2,500 watts, 2,400 watts. On a 110 volt outlet. It'd probably pick up another 200 watts or so if we went to 220 volts. But that's where we sit. Input tune is flat, spot on the money, for where we've got it tuned for 10 meters. Okay? Whew. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been working on this thing most of the afternoon. And it is done. The tubes are worth $700 by themselves. That is ridiculous to think of, but it is true. We've got our plate amp meter fixed, or pardon me, our plate volts, relative power, and grid meters all working. Everything's right on this box. It's just got a little bit of tinge to it. All the outer panels I went through and I scrubbed by hand and got them all shiny again. Like I got the nasty black spot off. And I cleaned this all up. It's all nice and purty again. I cleaned all the side panels up. I even cleaned the outer armor up. But some of the stuff won't come off. Some of the tinge won't come off, like on the inside of the RF deck. So, because this thing isn't absolutely pristine, although it's pretty close, but it's not absolutely pristine, so I can't come on in and sit here and go, oh, it's a beauty, it's a keeper. Well, it is what it is. Somebody smoked around this box for a lot of years. Now, we've cleaned all the smell out of it, but still there's a little bit of tinge inside the deck. We got it all cleaned off, all the tuners, we got it cleaned off all the coils, we got it cleaned off all the parts that matter, like the band switches, front and back. We got it cleaned off the bleeders, got it cleaned off the fan. The tubes are immaculate, but the inside of the cabinet does have a little bit of a tinge to it. And there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to lie about it, and I'm not going to try and hide it. I could probably spend 2 or 3 days and sit in there and take this thing all apart and polish all of it, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better just to sell it as it is and let it go to another home where somebody's going to work a lot of skip on it. So let me put the side panels back on it. I want to drill out these top holes. We're okay, we're at 0. Pretty close anyhow. It just hurt for a second. Drill out these top holes. We're going to crush nut those, and then we're going to crush nut the side plates. So let me get the side plates put on, and let me get the crush nuts in, and we'll be back. Well, it's all crush nutted, so it now uses 632 machine screws instead of using sheet metal screws. So no more stripping out of the holes. Look guys, the heart of this amplifier is good. The power supply is right. Transformer's good. It's got a good high voltage board in it. Everything on this box works. It's just got a little bit of tinged to the inside of the metal. So I can't like go and say, oh, this is cherry, because it's not. We kind of had to build the voltmeter, you know. There's stuff to it that's not absolutely perfect, but everything on this box works and works the way it should. It's got good tubes. Upon request of purchase, I'll put any kind of 220 plug you want on this, or wire it 220, or I'll leave it the stock 110. It's whatever you want. Works in all bands, all modes. Just saying, and it's got beautiful IMAX in it. I'm feeling very comfortable and strong at asking $1,500 for this box. Very comfortable and strong. There's nothing left that needs to be done to this. Short of maybe changing out the high voltage capacitor bank, which can be done if that's what you want. When you pay for the cap bank, I'll install it free of charge. No big deal. Takes about an hour if I do it. Just saying. So the option's there. But $1,500 plus the ride. It does have good armor. Now I'm going to leave it just like this till it does decide to go someplace. And the reason we're going to do that is because I don't want to have to scuff up the face, taking the armor on and off one more time. Because the face is pristine. If we look around our edges, we don't have any of the normal chipping that takes place on the corners. There's no scratches. There's no stain on the front. Everything is white and beautiful. Okay? It's the inside. Like I said, this is a great closet find. Somebody loved this very intently. They broke it. They didn't understand how to fix it. It got put in a closet, and it got brought up here, and now it's back to 100% resurrected back to life. Now, these Sb220s don't sit around here for very long. You guys love them. It's the cheapest one I've sold in a long time. Normally it's a $1,600 to $1,800 deal. So $1,500 plus a ride, I feel pretty happy. And I'm sure this is going to go to a good home. Call me. Call me. And if I don't return your call, I will get back to you. So like if you call me at 3:30 in the morning, if the video does not say sold on it, that means this thing is still for sale. Give me a ring. I can only do PayPal on this one, guys. So no credit cards. So come running with PayPal, and I'll be ready to go. Gentlemen, I gots to go. You know what? I can take a credit card. No big deal. I didn't even think about it. I got a whole nother option. I can take credit cards. It doesn't matter. Credit card, PayPal, either way. Give me a call. I got to run. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I still got the video to edit. Gentlemen, have a good night. Appreciate every single one of you. Bum bum from the biggest duck in Idaho. I'll see you. Bye-bye.